Now, I'm going to get this question out of the way right at the very beginning, and then I promise it's the last time I'll mention it. But it must be a little bit frustrating for someone like you who spends a lot of time deep in the details and complexities of border security, of migrant issues, of immigration policy, to have the headlines hijacked by people eating pets and ducks.
Yeah, no, it really is. And, all of this, is just sort of a sideshow to what is a massive influx of individuals into the United States, ever since the Biden-Harris administration started. Normally, we get about 1 million legal immigrants per year, and, we get a few 100,000 people who attempt to enter illegally, and most of those people in the past were detained. The Biden-Harris administration, however, has released 5.6 million illegal migrants, people who were stopped at the borders or the ports, into the United States. And that doesn't count nearly 2 million other people who evaded overwhelmed Border Patrol agents and got away. And of course, the Haitians really came to a flashpoint, or, really came to the public attention back in September of 2021 in the town of Del Rio, Texas, when we had about 15,000 primarily Haitian migrants pour over the Rio Grande into what is a pretty small border town, Del Rio. And, to the degree that that incident, which was a big deal at the time, is remembered today, is because there were pictures that emerged that appeared to show Border Patrol agents on horseback whipping migrants. Even the person that took those pictures said nobody was getting whipped. But that didn't stop President Biden from taking to the White House lectern and saying, there will be consequences these people will pay. And from the Vice President Harris talking about, how disturbing these pictures were, apparently, unfamiliar with horsemanship, let alone what happens at the border. So, yeah, I mean, this has been building up for a long time in the United States, and a lot of it is a consequence of the administration's immigration policies.
Now, there's the program for Haiti, Venezuela, Cuba, and is it Nicaragua, to fast track their entry into the states. And that's been going on for some time under the Biden-Harris administration. Is that program still underway? Is it still going on where they're flying directly into the country from those 4 countries? Or has that been put on hold possibly during the election season? I don't want to say it's all about politics, but I think I did.
Yeah, actually, formally it's called Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela parole processes, but, it's better known as CHNV Parole. And under CHNV Parole, 30,000 nationals of those 4 countries are permitted to fly into the United States and be paroled into this country. Now, you talked about fast tracking. This actually isn't really fast tracking so much as it is turning a blind eye to the fact that those folks don't have visas to enter the country. If they had visas, they would just fly into an airport and they would just be admitted to the country. These are folks who go through a rather complicated process to apply, find a supporter in the United States, and then fly into domestic airports. It's interesting because the Center for Immigration Studies did a FOIA request. We wanted to know where they were going and where they were coming from. We determined that migrants who have entered under this program have come not just from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela, but from 77 different countries around the world, including Australia, China, and Iceland. So, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting program, but thus far, Haitians have really been among the primary beneficiaries of it. About 172,000 Haitian nationals, again, none of whom have visas to come here, have been allowed to fly into the United States on promises of 2-year periods of parole that allows them to live here and work here. Now, at the end of that 2-year period, there's no expectation to leave. In fact, if you go on the CHNV website, there's a question: what happens when my 2-year period ends? Well, you may be eligible for some other form of immigration benefit in the United States. By law, under the parole statute, they have to leave, and yet, for some reason, they're not being told that by the administration.
Mm-hmm. I don't. What you said was I think is fascinating, because I thought that program was specifically set up, designed for those 4 countries. But what you're saying is it's been expanded Is that just the way the bureaucracy works? Was there some official effort to try to expand it to other countries? Talk to me about that a little bit, if you could.
Yeah, so just to clarify, it's only available to nationals of those four countries: Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela. But there's no requirement under the program that any of those people be living in those four countries. In fact, there's been a massive Haitian diaspora over the last 20 years. There's been a large Venezuelan diaspora of about 6 million people, under Hugo Chavez and current President Maduro of Venezuela. And so those people have gone, primarily throughout South and Central America, but all over the world. Now, those people who are firmly resettled in countries on the other side of the globe have the opportunity to take advantage of this parole program, and they're leaving the places that they are, which aren't their homes, so that they can fly into the United States. I mean, it's really sort of a remarkable program. And again, none of this is authorized by statute. There's nothing in the Immigration and Nationality Act that permits this. The Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has created this out of whole cloth. And they did it primarily because they were getting so many nationals of those four countries showing up illegally at the southwest border, as we saw in the Del Rio incident back in September 2021. But there's no guarantee that the people who apply under this program would have otherwise entered the United States illegally. And the fact that they're coming from all over the world suggests many of them never would have. The logic of this is to deter people from entering illegally, but this is sort of like standing in front of a shopping mall handing out gift cards to deter shoplifters. Yeah, okay, some of those people you're giving gift cards to may have shoplifted, but most of them were probably just going to come and do legitimate business.